Scorpio, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your October forecast. And so last month was pretty major. It was eclipse season, and it really broadened your perspective. We had a solar and we had a lunar eclipse, so both your emotions and your core really got a big reboot as to what you should do moving forward. And so anytime the energy really shifts like that, I think you're really susceptible to the darker parts of energy and how to proceed forward, because anytime you get a jolt like that, it's like you almost expect the worst, or you almost anticipate the worst energy. So for you, this is going to cause much reflection. It's going to cause you to internalize a lot of what happened, and it's really going to dive deep into some of the darkest layers of Scorpio, which are pretty dark. So let's talk about this month, and because I believe that although I don't think that the month was truly tragic for you last month, I believe that this month will have a larger impact on you than last month did. So the Sun and Mercury in Libra are going to be moving into the 12th house. So the balancing energy of Libra and the partnership energy of Libra is going to cause you to reflect on the past, and it's going to cause you to revisit some fears, especially that happened around the eclipse in Aries right around the 27th. And I think you lost a lot of the confidence that you had been feeling prior to this event. And I think that it caused you to be introspective and know that a new beginning has to happen in certain areas to elevate your emotional barometer. Let's put it that way. So for you, okay, so until about the 11th, 12th, Mercury, how you think, and short distance travel and how you communicate is still going to be in retrograde. So this is a time for quiet time. This is a time for introspection. This is a time to hold back and evaluate everything. And you're really good at this. I'm not really worried about having to give you the pep talk of how to do this, but I just don't want it to, as you recluse in, as you hide and you start reaching some emotional intensity, I just hope that you don't lose some of the strength that you've been building for quite some time. So after the 8th, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus and Virgo all move into the 11th house. And this is the house of friendship, social networking. This is also the house of hopes, dreams, and wishes. And so anytime Jupiter gets into anywhere, it expands wherever it is. And it just depends on how healthy you are in these arenas. It can expand friendships, or it can expand problems in friendships, communication issues. It can expand how you relate to your friends, and how sometimes when you have friends, you start to utilize them as lovers, and how effective is that? And it puts the passion back into wanting to make friends and bringing good friends into your life that actually elevate your life. So there's a lot that can happen depending on where you are that can really change and transform your life. But again, you're kind of at a crisis level after the event, after the lunar eclipse. And for you, I think you strongly know that you are at a crossroads and you need to make some very big changes, but that brings about a lot of fear. I think it has to do with heart-based endeavors. It has to do with trust. It has to do with friendship on deeper levels and not just on superficial levels. It has to do with fear of loss, fear of losing control, fear of being taken advantage of, and I think more importantly, fear of your ability to stay strong and balanced in relationships when so many of your relationships have been tested. So anytime Venus is in Virgo, it's in a debilitated energy. And so I think it really makes us be very reflective and critical of who we move forward with. On the 8th, Venus goes into Virgo in your 11th house. And then on the 9th, Mercury goes direct in Libra in the 12th house. And I think about after the 12th, you're going to start, before the 12th, I think you're going to feel a lot of anxiety. You're going to feel a lot of dramatic introspection. You're going to feel self-protective. I want to say that this may have something to do with Gemini rising, or a Gemini rising, or a Gemini moon, or a Leo. A Leo could definitely be somebody that you are contemplating or thinking about where you stand with them and thinking about how you want to proceed with them. I think that for the most part that you have an emotional fulfillment where you are at, and that you have a creative spirit and you really want to start opening that up, but you're passing up opportunities. And this has to do with a lot of fear of moving forward in heart-based endeavors, creative endeavors, and romantic endeavors. And I think Jupiter and Mars going into these areas is really going to help you to let go of some of those limiting behaviors. It's like you can move forward, but you don't want to. You're holding yourself back. You are equating this with all of this past pain, past issues. And it doesn't help that the planet of communication and how you think is in retrograde at this point. Around the 12th, this is when energy starts to get back to normal. The new moon happens in Libra, and I think you're starting to energetically feel a little bit better. You're starting to feel balanced. You're starting to want to embark on that fork in the road. You want to make a decision. To me, this has to do with a partnership energy. I see it all over the place in this month. So this has to do with not holding back. It has to do with releasing fear. It has to do with putting trust in people, and it has to do with putting your passion and allowing that passion to expand into relationships such as love, friendships, creative endeavors, and heart-based endeavors. And you need to let these you need to take these opportunities, and you need to move forward with them and stop avoiding them. On the 17th, Mars aligns with Jupiter, and this is going to be in your 11th house. So to me, this suggests that this new conservative approach that you have will allow you to overcome some of these extreme limitations that I see as far as in fears and hopes and dreams and how you pursue your heart's desire. I think emotionally you're ready to have all of your cups full, everything filled up. And it's just letting go of some of the fears, the poor coping methods, the self-sabotaging behaviors, and really allowing yourself to energetically connect. Again, it's a Leo-based energy, or it's a Gemini-based energy that is really going to pull you out of some of these issues. On the 27th, you have a full moon in Taurus. And a full moon is an accumulation. It's actually an ending, or it's an accumulative energy in a limiting behavior, or it's illuminating the darkness, or illuminating an area that you can't normally see. So essentially the full moon illuminates the night and all of the dark corners of your mind. So this could be a particularly troublesome time for you. This could be, and this has to do with the fact that you are really coming head to head with some of your fears and sensitivities. And this is on heart-based endeavors. This is how you seek pleasure. It's almost like you're scared to move forward with people and energy that can help you, because it makes you sensitive and vulnerable, and it makes you fall to temptation. And for you, that doesn't allow you to have the control, and it doesn't allow you to fully relish in the energies that you currently do have. It's like you're avoiding certain things because they're before you and you see them and they're illuminated, but you won't take them because you want to stay stuck. You want to stay exactly where you are, because at least where you are, you know where you are. There's no fear about moving forward. There's no fear about removing the blindfold and moving forward and facing the world and facing expectation and facing heart-based endeavors. And Mercury in retrograde really talked to you specifically, really spoke to you about a specific issue that is your own journey. And I would say that it has to do with your heart and a past-based endeavor that made you reflect on what you really want, what you really want to be, how you really want to proceed forward. But again, this really makes you sensitive, and it really causes you to be vulnerable, and that's not a state that you feel ultimately in control, and that you feel that you can hold back in. Like when you're that vulnerable, people can really see you, and you almost feel naked in this energy, and you're not ready for this. And so I really think that because the sun, your core, who you are internally, your character is so naked right now. It's being redefined and it's being transformed. And friendships are really, and lovers are really going to start to show you who you should ideally be, but you've got to let them in. You've got to let this transformation happen. You can't hold back in it anymore, because it's a limiting belief system that will only keep you stuck where you are, and you'll never ascend, and you'll never get anywhere staying stuck. There's strength to be found. There's a solid foundation to be found. There's love all over the place to be found if you just step outside your comfort zone, take off your blinders to the opportunities that are before you, and you open yourself up to love, to fruitful endeavors, to a broadened perspective and a new mindset, and stop trying to stay in control of everything, because you don't understand, but the illusion is nobody has control. No matter how much you want control, there is no control. You will never have ultimate control, even if you believe that you are in control. There is no control. That's the illusion, right? And so I think if you just took the blinders off, took the shackles off, you stepped out into the world, you started creating opportunity, you started embarking on some heart-based endeavors, and you get a childlike enthusiasm. This has to do a lot with a childlike enthusiasm. It has to do with going back to the basics, not a reserved adult enthusiasm, but something that really plugs you in and makes you a child at heart, and it really starts to get you on a journey about what makes you be truly, deeply happy. Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.